Hello folks! Geez, it feels like I haven't said that in a long time, even though I did put a video out last week of me and my daughter doing a little driving lesson in the 79 Notch. Yes. Little that way. Brakes! I've been like in different time zones. I've been somewhat on different continents. Same continent, just different countries. So a little personal vacation with the family to Mexico, then came back. Couple days of just scrambling, trying to glue life together, and then down to Colorado to help a buddy with his 88 GT. If you caught my post on the community page of YouTube, you'd know that this car really touched me. I would go out on a limb and say that this is probably one of the top 3 nicest, unmolested examples of a Foxbody I've ever seen. This thing blew my mind. More on that later. In a chronological manner, that video probably should have come out before what I'm doing right now, but again, I'm scrambling, so it is what it is. I will show you guys that car in very short order. Now today, I have a buddy coming by and bringing a windshield for my 92 Coupe. I have 2 pressing issues that I need to pretty much tear my world apart for to make happen, because it's a buddy, like I said, that's bringing the windshield by to give me a hand. I don't want to mess up his schedule, so I'm trying to bend mine to work with his. And 2 is, I have to take the chip out of this car that Mr. Mathew of Tech Motion originally tuned my car with the heads, cam, and intake and all that good stuff. Take that Moates quarter horse chip out of this car and take it with me next weekend to Alberta, because I'm going there with my daughter. She's got a sporting event, and he is going to give us a little bass tune in order to safely fire this car up once the Kenne Bell and all this other injectors and new MAF and all that stuff is installed on it. So I thought it'd be fun to take you guys along for the ride. And personally, I'm unaware of anyone on YouTube or the socials that really went into any kind of length to show what it's like to put a windshield in a car. So I thought that'd be kind of fun. And pull my computer down, pull the Moates quarter horse out of there. Some of you maybe even never seen them. Because the Moates quarter horse story, at least as it sits here in 2024, there's a lot of unknowns. They're closed for business. No one really knows why. We talked to Mathew at Tech Motion about this, Chris and I, on our podcast. He had a great relationship with them, did a lot of business with them. When it was announced that they were closing, he tried reaching out and just saying, is everything okay? You know, what does this look like for all of us that use your products going forward? And nobody really knows. So anyway, bit of a mystery. We hope for, whatever's gone on, that all is well with those folks at Quarter Horse and everything. But anyway, that's about as much of the story as I know. So again, today's video, windshield, pulling the chip. I'm going to do the chip stuff right now while I wait for my buddy to show up with the windshield. And then we'll show you what it's all about to put a windshield in the Fox. All right, now the beauty of this is you really don't have to remove the kick panel or anything. And the last time that the computer was out of this car was, well, when Mathew tuned it. So, I mean, for what it's all worth, ladies and gents, just really take your time with this old stuff. If you're not messing around with a new age ECU or anything, get yourself lots of room to work, and try not to be too rowdy with the connectors. Every harness is a little bit different when you're yarding these things out, right? Some of the computers will come right out. Other ones want to be disconnected like this. I just always like to be super, super careful with it all. And yeah, it's a 10 mil bolt that kind of holds the main plug into the computer here. So back that guy out of there, and it pretty much unplugs the whole harness, or the plug. All the way out, like so.
Okay. This little plastic cage is, well, can be rather bendy. You can kind of work your way around. Okay, and we're out. Now then, okay, Mathew went to great lengths to tape this all in here. Make sure that we weren't going to get any residual dust or whatever else in here. And this car, when I took it to Mathew, I had one of those goofy like Hypertech chips that I'd probably spent somewhere around like $600 for in Canadian Monopoly money back in the day, because I thought that was gonna like make my car some rip snorting monster. Probably added a half HP in the grand scheme of things, but that was in here before. And then he gave me this custom burn tune that took me into the 21st century. And for any of you that are familiar with these computers, you know that there's usually a sticker that runs along here that says something to the effect of, Ford will cut your head off in front of the king if you remove that sticker. No, they'll void your warranty and all that stuff, which we're obviously way past that point. But holy, the Gorilla Tape, boy, she is impressive stuff. Here we are. Ever so delicately pull that off. So there you go, folks. That's where she lives. Now, we'll maybe get this guy up on the bench, give you a little bit of a better view as to what's going on here as we unplug this guy, put it in a very safe space, and transport it over to Mathew. Okay. Peel this little box apart. Oh, funny enough, check it out. Mathew had peeled the sticker and set it on top of my old A9L here. Still got reference to that stuff. It's kind of cool. Now, you know, if you want to be real technical here, static electricity is your enemy when it comes to these things, right? So, I don't know, proceed with caution, I guess you should say. You know, if you got a fancy way of grounding yourself or whatever, I would probably say you should do it. I really don't. So we're just going to lick our finger and thumb and hope for the best here. And there it is. Inside of what makes these old girls tick. So essentially, this is our quarter horse. Boom shakalaka. Kind of neat looking, right? Plugs in down here on the bottom and gives you that tunability of these old girls. The old A9L looks pretty good still, from what I can tell. Now, I'm no expert on these by any means, but nonetheless, no signs of burning or shorting or whatever, you know. But these things are getting old and tired, ladies and gents. 9 times out of 10, you know, a lot of people do lean towards like, oh, your computer's toasted. These things are pretty tough, at least based on my experience. But there is a chance, you know, where things start to bleed or lose capacity, whatever that scenario may look like. So it's not to say they don't screw up, but they are pretty tough. So this is the $1 million part that's going to get transported. I feel like I'm packing absolutely ridiculously precious cargo, you know, because Moates ain't making these anymore. And the only way you can really get one is if you find one used. But this is what's going over to Mathew to get our bass tune.
All right, so this is the removal. It's probably a good thing I got no dash in here, because I'm going to end up with all kinds of shit in behind there, eh?
It's old.
Crusty and dusty. Would it help if I pulled it all, buddy? Maybe.
I can get to that side. I just need to get it.
Okay. Beauty.
Yeah, what a mess of shit in behind there.
Like whatever you do at school that you think could be viewed as not cool,
Yep.
be prepared that someone will say something. As long as you don't care.
And just like that, we can see again.
And then if you have those tabs, I didn't get any squeeze out. Usually if you get urethane squeeze out
Yep.
and you have it around these pins, you gotta stick the tabs in, because then once it hardens, you won't get them back in.
Right.
Like you look like you're safe all the way around.
Yep.
Just don't. Actually, this one's got a little bit.
There's a whole new bag in there if you want. I was prepared for you. Right, so yeah, get those in and set before you're fighting the shit, hey? Yeah, that guy might be a little tight too. Well, guys, that was kind of an enjoyable process. I'd never done that before. Which I'm going to assume probably most of you that are going to watch this are in the same boat. I mean, it's something that you typically take your car to somebody else, go, here's the keys, you know, treat her like it's your own. But yeah, this was kind of fun. I'll give you a little tour of it. Nothing like looking through brand new glass, right? Like, geez, it almost looks like it's not even there. But relatively cool process seeing it all done, right? Definitely a case of you need the right tools to do it, especially like removing it. And I'll be honest here, folks, one of the slickest deals of all this, actually, you guys haven't seen the dash frame back in. I threw that in while I was waiting for Mike, but having all your dash pulled out while you do this really made for a slick deal, because this is a relatively messy situation to go through when you're peeling off all that old windshield glue, right? So yeah, that was pretty slick. And then, I mean, obviously you could just get to run through with a vacuum and maybe compressed air and blast all that junk out of there, and you've got no leftover residue. So super excited with how that all worked out. Special shout out to Mike there if he's going to watch this. Thanks, buddy, for coming by and doing this at my shop. Super cool. This is not a car light, ladies and gents, okay? It's a whatever OEM spec knockoff kind of thing, but we got brand new window. Okay, guys, and now just to sum everything up and sort of let you know where this is all going moving forward, I am still somewhat in scramble mode as I reintroduce myself to regular life here, but I'm going to get after putting my interior back together. I'm going to put all my windshield trim and stuff on. I've got that down here. I had scuffed it down and repainted the trim and everything late one night. That was about the time that I texted my buddy Mike and said, hey dude, can you get me a window? Anyway, so get that on. I'm gonna get my interior, or my dash and everything, console back in the car. And then as far as move forward stuff goes, now I've mentioned this to a few people, pardon me if I've mentioned it to you guys on here, but I'm kind of at a point where all roads collide. Obviously everything's revolving around that twin screw right there, but actually no, that's a bit of a lie, because I do have this Elite Engineering is the name of the company. They got this pretty slick catch can system that I'm going to be putting it on. So maybe I will do like a video just on that. And then that's when all roads collide. So we're at the point where, you know, we got to start hooking everything up. I do have to put the Vintage Air AC compressor on, which is still under my bench. Now, the reason I haven't put that on yet is part of the Kenne Bell install means that you actually have to, I got to do a little more homework on this. It's in the Kenne Bell instructions, but you actually got to get after this AC compressor bracket with a die grinder. And another little component to this that I don't really have like a clear path forward is, well, it's right here, I'll show you. This is some of the bracketry that comes with the compressor from Vintage Air. And well, I don't really know how this is all going to work yet. I'm assuming it's all going to go fine, but I just have a feeling that there's going to be some like head scratch, sit down, have a beer, let's figure this out, and then move forward. So anyway, the videos after the catch can system install are going to be a little sporadic, so I guess buckle up. Not sporadic, but like there's probably going to be a lot of moving parts and jumping around, so bear with me. I'll try to make the most of it, and then hopefully we've got some sort of like, I don't know, place mark in the wild world of the interwebs where there's a little bit of a Kenne Bell Foxbody supercharger install living out here for people to check out. So that's kind of the update on where I'm at with everything, ladies and gents. So wish me luck on the dash. I'm not really looking forward to putting all this back in. I am, but I'm not, right? Those who've done it, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, folks, thanks so much for tagging along. I appreciate you guys. If you think this video helps somebody, share it along. That's why I do them. So thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye for now.